back to Grandpa Jimmy Barbecue. Today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to try cooking a brisket low and slow on the pellet grill, and then when it's almost done, I am going to put it directly on lumped charcoal and reverse sear it caveman style. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a try. What I've got here is a small brisket. It's 11 pounds, USDA Prime, got it at Costco, $4.49 a pound. Not too bad of a price nowadays. It's a $50 piece of meat. So let's get to it. You can find a boatload of videos online of how to trim a brisket. So I'm not going to bore you with those details. I'm just going to do it. I don't pretend to be the world's greatest when it comes to trimming brisket, but this is what we've got. This is the top part. As you can see, I took off most of the fat. I had to cut off some edges that were kind of thick. And then you turn it over. On the bottom side, which we're going to cook fat side down, I left a little bit of a layer of fat. Now we're going to season it. Today I am going to use Croy Valley Barbecue Booster Italian. So not only are we experimenting by doing the reversed sear method, caveman style, we're also going to do it Italian style. I'm going to do the bottom side first. Oh, that's not working. We're going to have to use that side more. Oh yeah, we got to get it on there nice and thick. Pat it in a little bit. Get all the edges. Don't be afraid to be generous with this stuff. That's a big piece of meat. It's going to need a lot of seasoning. So we're going to flip her over. And now we're going to do the top side. There we go. She looks pretty good. When we've cooked before, we've often talked about the importance of letting your meat rest after you cook it. But in the case of a big slab of beef like this, it's also important, let it rest a little bit before you cook it. You just took it out of the refrigerator, you just trimmed it. Now let it warm up a little bit more toward room temperature, and that'll also give this delicious spice a chance to soak in the meat. So I'm going to let it sit out about an hour before I put it on. Okay, boys and girls, it's time for the show to begin. It's 9:30 on a Friday night. I have my pellet grill set at 175 degrees. I have the thicker part over where my grill is a little bit warmer. And we're going to go to bed, and whenever I decide to get up in the morning, we're going to check it out and see what's happening. Good morning, everyone. It's 8:30 on Saturday morning, and it's time to see what we've got. Hey, that looks pretty darn good. It's time to take it off the grill and wrap it up. We are ready to wrap. I put the brisket on the grill last night at 9:30, took it off at 8:30 this morning, so it's been on for 11 hours. And my intent was to have the grill at 175 degrees. Now, ordinarily, my pellet grill is very reliable. It holds the temperature just great. But sometimes things happen. I got up this morning, and it was at 200 degrees. A little warmer than what I wanted. I'm going to have to check that out, see if there's something wrong with it. Maybe it's just a difficulty. Therefore, sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. That's the way barbecue is, especially with brisket. Sometimes they seem to have a mind of their own. And the internal temperature got up a little bit warmer than what I wanted to. I wanted to wrap it at around 150, 160, but the internal temperature got up to about 170, 172. So that's okay. I'm going to roll with the punches. I'm going to wrap it up and put it back on the pellet grill. It's a pretty easy step, easy to do. Just give her a little fold here. Roll it over once, roll it over twice. Tuck the ends under, make it nice and tight, just like so, and we're going to put it back on the grill. Now, ordinarily, I would turn it up to maybe 250 degrees, but since we're a little bit ahead of schedule, I'm going to leave it at 200 for a little while and see what happens with the internal temperature. Hello, everybody. It's showtime. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, so it's been covered on the grill for about 5 hours. Now, I was getting a little impatient, so I turned it up to 250. And the internal temperature of the meat is right at 199, just where you want to be. So let's unwrap it and see what she looks like. Ooh, man. Look at that bark. Give it a little jiggle test. Oh, it jiggles well. I gave it a probe test, and it was just like butter, very tender. And now, for the main event, as I said, we're going to put it directly on lumped charcoal, caveman style. I'm going to sear it on one side for 2 minutes and the other side for 3 minutes. just for kind of an experiment. Okay, here we go. I'm using my new Urban Fire smokeless fire pit. Big shout out to the boys at Urban Fire for sponsoring me with this. You can see the lump charcoal is white hot, so let's drop that bad boy in and see what happens. Bingo! Holy wow, does this look gorgeous or what? Check this out. It's got the good jiggle, it's got a great crust on it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna wrap it up back in the paper that I originally used first. And then just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna put a little fresh paper around it and I'm gonna put it in the cooler and let it sit for 2 hours. I'm really tempted to cut into that and see what it looks like, see what it tastes like, but no. You gotta let it rest. Just like this. Close her up. Let it take a nap. And we are done. Total cook time was about 15 hours. I put it in the cooler. I was gonna do it for 2 hours, but it was about 2.5. I thought it needed a little bit longer nap. Did you have a nice sleep, honey? Oh, yeah. So, because of the caveman style searing, I can tell it's got a much crustier bark, a little tougher on the outside. So we're going to cut into this and see how things look. Let's give it the old finger test. Ooh, that's just right. It's not breaking. It's not breaking at all, but I bet it'll break apart. Oh yeah, nice and easy. Look at that. That's exactly how you want your brisket done. Check it out, folks. You gotta love the double dance. Look at that, man. Just perfect. Flip it around. Oh yeah. And see how easy it pulls apart. I'll take that any day. As you can see, this turned out pretty well. It's a little messier because it's got more of a hard crust on it on the outside from when we seared it. But boy, it really does taste good with the Croix Valley Italian seasoning too. Man, that was a good choice. And by the way, as always, if there's something you'd like me to try, do a little experimenting with so you don't have to, leave a comment. I'd be glad to fill you in and show you what it looks like, provided you have a reasonable request, that is. And don't forget to like and subscribe. So there you have it. If you like a crunchy crust, this is the way to go. You would love it. However, for me, it was a little bit too crunchy for my taste. However, you just witnessed another cook that I can take off my bucket list. It's important to have a bucket list, you know. And hey, don't forget to have fun out there. Good luck, God bless, and remember the golden rule. Cheers, everybody.